Why are we here, Em? This place costs more than my rent. She smiled across the candlelit table. You deserve something nice, after everything we've been through. I laughed nervously. What? Did I get a raise and no one told me? She stirred. Her whine. Ethan, I need to talk to you about something important. I leaned in. You're scaring me. What's going on? She hesitated too long. My stomach twisted. It's not easy to say, but I've been thinking about us a lot. Okay. And her eyes wouldn't meet mine. I met someone. What? I met someone. He's different, stable, ambitious. My throat dried. Are you breaking up with me at a rooftop restaurant? I didn't know how else to do it. Say it straight, Emily. She put her fork down. I'm leaving you. I've been seeing someone else? Silence. I blinked again. Who? She took a breath, like she was preparing for war. Logan Hayes. My hand froze midair. My boss? My boss? I didn't plan it, I snapped. Don't you dare say it just happened. He understands where I'm going in life. We want the same things. I laughed, but it came out hollow, and I'm just some stepping stone, right? 5 years together? Just ... practice? Ethan. We've grown apart. You're still dreaming about building apps. I need someone who's already made it. So money, that's what this is about. It's not just that. He believes in me. He makes me feel seen. I sat back, heart thudding. I gave you everything, my time, my trust, my stupid heart. I didn't want to hurt you. Too late, we sat in silence. The waiter came by, saw our faces, and kept walking. I stared at her. How long? Oh. A few months. I closed my eyes. You were sleeping with him while waking up next to me. I tried to end it clean. I didn't want it to be like this. You could have walked away before cheating. I didn't plan to fall for him. That's your excuse? She stood up. Sorry, Ethan. I stayed seated. No, you're not. She didn't argue. I should have known. I muttered. The late nights. The sudden business trips. She grabbed her clutch. Goodbye, Ethan. I didn't respond. Couldn't she walk toward the elevator? Okay. A few seconds later, I heard the ding. Stood up and walked to the edge of the rooftop, watching the street below. A black BMW pulled up. Logan stepped out, grinning like he'd won something. She ran to him like some movie scene. He opened the door for her. She didn't look back. Not once. I walked past our half-eaten plates, past the waiter's awkward glance, down the stairs, into the night. It was colder than I remembered. Shoved. My hands in my pockets kept walking. My thoughts spun, out of control. 5 years for what? A dinner and a goodbye? I whispered to myself. She chose him over me. Cars passed. Music from a bar spilled onto the street. My feet moved. Without direction, I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. But nothing came out. Just ... Silence. My phone buzzed. A text from her. I hope someday you'll understand. I turned the screen off. No reply. She didn't deserve one. I kept walking. The city lights blurred. I didn't know where I was. Going just away from her, from him. From the version of me who believed love was enough. Because tonight, I learned it wasn't. You said, Mr. Walker, HR needs to see you. I looked up from my screen. Now, the intern nodded. Yeah, they said it's urgent. I grabbed my badge, heart pounding. The walk down the hall felt longer than usual. My palms were already sweating. Ava, the HR manager, greeted me with a stiff smile.
Hi, Ethan.
Please, have a seat. Did I do something wrong? She shook her head. No, nothing like that. I waited. She sighed. Effective today, your position has been eliminated due to internal restructuring. I blinked. What? It's part of a larger round of budget adjustments. I stared at her. Budget cuts? Seriously? I'm really sorry. I laughed bitterly. No, you're not. She shifted uncomfortably. You'll be receiving a severance package and assistance with transitioning. This was Logan, wasn't it? Ethan, I'm not stupid. I get dumped and fired in the same week? That's not coincidence. She looked down at her desk. Silence answered louder than words. How long do I have? Security will escort you to pack your things. I stood up slowly. Of course, I can't let the dumped guy linger. I didn't want it to happen this way. I'm sure Logan did. I walked out without shaking her hand. Back at my desk, coworkers avoided eye contact. I opened a box and started loading my things. Headphones, my notebook. The framed photo of Emily and me, tossed it in face down. Hey, a soft voice whispered. I turned. It was Zara. She looked heartbroken. I just heard, Ethan, I'm so sorry. Don't be. I'm used to surprises now. This isn't right. I shrugged. Neither was sleeping with your subordinate's fiancé? Her jaw clenched. I had no idea. Most people didn't. That's the fun part. I always thought, you two were solid? So did I. She put a hand on the box. If you need anything work, help a couch, I'm here. I looked at her. Thanks. That means more than you know. She gave a small smile. You didn't deserve this. I know. We rode the elevator down together. Neither of us spoke until the ding. She turned to me. Whatever you do next, make it count. I don't have a plan. Then make one. The doors opened. She walked away. I stood there for a second before stepping into the lobby. Outside, the sun was too bright. Hated it. I walked to the bus stop, carrying the box like a badge of failure. A couple stared at me. I ignored them. The ride home was quiet. I stared out the window, numb. Everything felt distant, like I was underwater. When I got to my apartment, I dropped the box on the couch. I stood there, just standing. My phone buzzed. Sorry it had to end this way. Emily, I turned the screen off and threw the phone on the floor. Hours passed, maybe more. I didn't eat, didn't move, just stared at the ceiling. What now? I whispered. No answer. I closed my eyes. Faces flashed through my mind. Emily's smile, Logan's smug grin, Ava's pity, Zara's kindness. I couldn't stay like this. I wouldn't. They took my job, my pride, my relationship, but not my mind, not my will. I sat up. If they're going to throw me out, I'll make them regret it. I walked to the kitchen, poured a glass of water, and opened my laptop. No plan, no money. But I had time, and anger. Maybe that was enough. You sure about this? I asked, dragging my suitcase down the hall. Claire opened the door wider. You're my brother. Where else would you go? I could have figured something out. She pulled me into a hug. No more figuring. Just breathe. I tried. I really did. But everything still felt tight in my chest. Couch is all yours, she said. Bathroom's down the hall. Fridge is full. You're not a guest, so don't act like one. Right, got it. And for the record, I'm not saying I told you so. I managed a half smile, thanks. She handed me a blanket. Now you get to start fresh. Feels more like starting over. Same thing, different perspective. The next morning, I brewed coffee and opened my laptop. Job hunting, Claire asked, leaning on the doorway. Yeah, 5th time this week. She walked away humming. I stared at the screen for hours, rejected. Good my inbox was a graveyard of. Unfortunately, I checked my phone, bad idea. Emily and Logan were trending. Some feature about power couples in tech. Her photo was everywhere. I tossed the phone on the floor. Breathe, Ethan, I whispered. That afternoon, I stepped outside for air. A breeze. Finally, Ethan. A familiar voice called. I turned. Zara stood there holding a smoothie. What are you doing here? I live here now. She raised an eyebrow. Temporarily, I added. She walked closer. You okay? No, honest. I like it. I just moved in next block. James needed a change of scenery. Your brother. She nodded. He's 17 now. College material. But he's different how. Come meet him. You'll see. Hour later, I sat on their couch. James barely looked up from his tablet. James, this is Ethan, the guy I told you about? Cool, he mumbled. He's kind of a genius, Zara whispered. and obsessed with algorithms. "Hi," I said. He glanced up. "You made that expense tracking app 2 years ago, right?" I blinked. "You used that?" "Forked the code, fixed the bug," Zara laughed. "Told you." James looked at me. "What are you working on now?" "Nothing," I said. "I got fired. Lost everything." He tilted his head. "Then start something. It's not that easy. It's code. It's literally that easy." Stared at him. He was serious. Zara leaned in. "I've been thinking, what if we build something together?" I blinked. "You mean start a company?" "Why not? You've got the brains. I've got time." "James has both." James shrugged at the ideas. "Good. I don't even have an idea." Zara smiled. "You will. You just forgot how to dream." I ran my fingers through my hair. "It's been a rough couple of weeks." "Then let's rough up the world right back." James tapped his tablet. "I'm in. If we go lean and iterate fast." "Lean and iterate," I repeated. "You sound like a VC." "I read things." I looked at both of them. "You're serious?" Zara nodded, dead serious. "Ain't you?" "No, I'm broke, right? We're not doing this for money. We're doing it for you. And maybe ... for revenge." That caught me. I leaned back. "I can't promise anything." Zara stood. "Don't promise. Just show up tomorrow." "For what?" "Our first planning session." James muttered, "Bring coffee." I laughed for the first time in weeks. "Back at Claire's," she noticed. "You're smiling." "Barely, but it's there." I sat beside her. "They want to build something with me. Then do it." "I'm scared." "Good, that means you're alive." I stared at the ceiling. "I thought I hit rock bottom." "You did," she said. "But now you've got a shovel." I grinned. "A shovel? To dig out or build something new?" "Your choice." I looked down at my hands. Maybe this wasn't the end. Maybe it was the start. "Garage?" I asked, staring at the open door. Zara grinned. "Welcome to HQ, James." Was already inside, hunched over a dual monitor setup. Cables everywhere. Empty energy drink cans lined the windowsill like trophies. "Don't touch anything," he mumbled, without turning. I held up my hands. "Got it." Zara nudged me forward. "Tell him your idea." I took a breath. So ... What if there was an app that helped freelancers track unpaid invoices automatically? James turned. "That exists." "Sure. But they suck. A clunky UX. Hidden. Fees. No real-time sync." "Okay," he said, tapping keys. "Who's your target? Freelancers? Creatives? Gig workers? Platform? Maybe mobile later." "What tech stack?" I blinked. "React for front-end. Node? Or maybe go back-end. Depends on scale." He smiled. "Finally, someone who speaks my language," Zara whispered. "Told you." James spun around. "We can do this." I blinked. "Just like that?" He nodded. "I've built dumber stuff for school projects. This easy? And you're... how old?" 17. Chill. I know what I'm doing." I laughed. "Okay, then let's do it." We started that night. Zara sketched out wireframes on paper. I cleaned up old mock-ups. James wrote out a database schema like he was sketching a comic book. "Where's your laptop?" he asked me. "Sold it for real?" "Yeah, paid off rent. Used Claire's old one now. That thing's a fossil, still works." Claire showed up an hour later with sandwiches. "Code fuel," she said, handing one to me. James mumbled, "Turkey? Veggie?" Claire said, tossing it to him. Zara looked at me. "How long can we keep this up?" "As long as it takes." By midnight, my back ached. I hadn't felt that kind of exhaustion in a long time, but it was good. We coded every day. We had nothing, but it felt like everything. No office, no investors. Just ideas, effort, and 3 people who believed. 3 nights in, I yawned and rubbed my eyes. "We should get some sleep." "No sleep," James said, typing. "Sleep is for funded startups." Zara laughed. "That's not healthy." James pointed at the screen. "Authentication's done." "You did auth tonight?" I asked. "Done and tested. Go check." I refreshed the page. The login worked. I looked at him. You're a freak. Get that a lot. Claire peeked in again. You guys ever eat dinner? Dara blinked. Wasn't lunch dinner? Not even close, Claire said. Come on, break time. We ate on the floor of the garage, between wires and whiteboards. You still think this could work? Zara asked. I nodded. It already is. I didn't think about Emily much anymore. Honestly, there wasn't space for her. But that changed the next night. I was debugging a back-end issue when my phone lit up. Emily, hope you're okay. Just that. No apology. Explanation. Just ... that. Zara noticed. Something wrong? I showed her. She frowned. You gonna reply? No. Good. I put the phone face down. James looked over. Who's Emily? Zara waved him off. No one. Correction, I said. She was someone. Now, she's a distraction. Respect, James said, going back to his screen. We pushed the first prototype a week later. It was clunky, ugly, buggy. But it worked. I just tracked an unpaid invoice from 2 months ago, Zara said, testing it. I smiled. That's the point. James tapped his keys. Next up, email. Notifications? Let's do it, I said. Claire brought cupcakes that night. To the first version, she said, I held one up. To the first spark, for the first time in a long time, I felt it. Hope. 0 downloads? James asked, refreshing the dashboard. Zara frowned. Still 0? Maybe 1, I said, holding up my phone. But that was me. James groaned. We should have waited. Oh, I said, forcing a smile. It's only been 3 hours. He slumped back in his chair. Feels like 3 weeks. Relax, Zara said, tossing him a granola bar. Give it a day, I nodded. We didn't build this overnight. Let the world catch up. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. I rubbed my eyes. Zara burst through the garage door. Check Twitter. James flew out of his chair. Wait, what happened? She shoved her phone in my face. Lena Rivera posted a reel using the app. I blinked. The Lena Rivera? She said it saved her from chasing a deadbeat client. Her fans are downloading like crazy. James shouted. Refresh the dashboard. 10,000, then 12. 20. I laughed. God, this can't be real. It is, Zara said, hugging me. We're going viral. James jumped on the table. Let's go. The garage became a war zone of laptops, wires, and caffeine. Feedback poured in. Bugs, praise, requests. I answered every email personally, Zara. Said, we need help, right? Yeah, I said. But first we celebrate. Claire brought a cake with 1 OK users. Written in frosting, James carved it with a ruler. By the weekend, we had 10 OK downloads. That Monday, I got a call. Ethan Moore, a voice asked. Speaking, this is Marcus Reed. I represent a VC firm called Edgemark. My stomach flipped. I know who you are. I like what I see. Let's talk. I stared at the phone after the call. Zara walked in. You look like you saw a ghost. Marcus Reed wants a meeting. She froze, as in, the Marcus Reed. I nodded, James. Whistled, shark smells blood. We met at a cafe the next day. Marcus wore sunglasses indoors, leaned back like he owned the table. I'm not going to waste your time, he said. Your app's smart, clean, scalable. I stayed quiet. I want in. I'll double whatever. Offer you're currently considering. We're not considering anything yet. He smiled. Then let me be the first. I shook his hand. I'll think about it. When I got back, Zara raised an eyebrow. So, he's serious, I said. And rich. James chuckled. Rich is good, I nodded. But we're not selling yet. They both looked at me. Open my laptop. We're building something bigger. I can feel it. Later that week, we signed a lease on a tiny office. 1 room, flickering lights. But it was ours. We made it out of the garage, Zara said, holding up her key. James added, barely. We bought folding chairs and secondhand desks, 8 noodles on the floor. It was perfect. Then it happened. A notification popped up on my screen. Inquiry, acquisition interest, Hayes Tech. I froze. Zara, I whispered. Come look. She leaned over my shoulder. Her eyes narrowed. Hayes Tech. Yeah, as in Logan Hayes. I nodded. James looked up from his laptop. What's happening? I turned the screen so he could see. They want to buy us wholly. I cut him off. I'm not selling. Zara sat beside me. He doesn't know it's you. Not yet. She smiled slowly. Then don't just say no. What do I say? Tell them you'll think about it. James grinned. Mess with them. I stared at the blinking cursor. No, I said, fingers hovering. I'll do one better, I typed. Thanks for the interest. Let's set up a meeting. -E.M. Zara raised an eyebrow. E.M. I smirked. Let him find out the hard way. James leaned back. Man, Karma's got good timing. Had arrived, and I wasn't done yet, Mr. Moore. They're ready for you. I smoothed my blazer. Thanks. The receptionist smiled. Good day, you could say that. The elevator doors slid open. Same building. Same floor. Here to beg anymore. I stepped into the boardroom. Logan leaned back in his chair. Good morning. You must be Ethan Moore. His eyebrows twitched. Wait, Ethan. Emily turned. Her face drained of color. Ethan. Hello, Emily. I nodded calmly. It's been a while. What is this? Logan said, clearly rattled. Some sort of joke? I represent Vior Labs, I said, sliding the folder across the table. We're acquiring your mobile division. Logan laughed. You acquiring us? Not all of you. Just the part that bled the most cash last quarter. His smirk faltered. Look at the paperwork, I said. Emily reached for it with trembling hands. Ethan, is this real? Signed, sealed, funded, I said. By Marcus Reed. Among others. Logan's face tightened. This is some kind of trick. No, I said. It's business. We like your dev team. The rest will restructure. He glanced down at the documents. The signatures were all there. You're serious, he muttered. Emily stood. Can I talk to you? Alone? I looked at Logan. Mind if I step out? He didn't respond. She led me down the hall, heels clicking against the tile. You've changed, she said quietly. I had to, I replied. You saw to that, she crossed her arms. I didn't think you'd ever come back. I didn't either. But here we are. Why this? She asked. Why buy his division? Because it was weak, I said. And I needed a reminder. Reminder of what? I looked at her, of who I used to be, and what I'll never be again. She hesitated. You were kind. Now you seem cold. No, I said. I'm just focused. Her voice softened. I never wanted to hurt you. You did, I said. Then you left. He promised me security, and I bet that felt great. Until today. She looked down. I thought you were. Done. I was, I said. With chasing people who didn't believe in me, her eyes welled up. I still think about us. I don't, I said plainly. She blinked. That's cruel. No, it's honest. We walked back to the boardroom in silence. Logan stood when we entered. So, what's next? Next, I said, your legal team coordinates with ours. Your employees are informed by Friday. Transition starts Monday. This is insane, he muttered. I shrugged. You approved it. I didn't recognize the name. You should have looked closer, he pointed a finger at me. You think this makes you better? No, I said. It makes me free. Emily looked at me one last time. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Emily. I walked out without. Looking back, down the hall. Past the desks where I used to sit. The same security guard who once escorted me out now nodded with respect. Big moves today. I smiled. Feels like it. He chuckled. Told you they'd regret it one day. Outside, Zara was waiting by the car. Well, she asked. I opened the door. Done. Clean. Clean enough. She handed me coffee. You okay? I think so. She studied me. You don't look happy? I'm not angry, I said. Not sad either. Then what? I feel nothing. Zara sipped her drink. That's power. I looked back at the building one last time. It's not the building. What is it then? The fact that they finally saw me for who I am? Who's that? I smiled. The man they underestimated. Zara grinned. And now, I said, they work for me. Ethan, we're on in 5, Zara whispered, straightening my collar. I nodded, gripping the folder tighter. Let's bury him. The boardroom lights dimmed. The projection screen flickered on. Logan leaned back in his chair like he owned the world. Mr. Brooks cleared his throat. We've gathered to discuss recent allegations. Logan chuckled. Allegations. That's a strong word, Brooks. Marcus slid the flash drive across the table. Let's just say we've got receipts. Excuse me. Logan's smile cracked. I stood. Unauthorized transactions. Fake vendor accounts. You skimmed off your own company. That's absurd, Logan snapped. You're making this personal. It's not personal, Marcus said. It's numbers. Fraudulent ones. Mr. Brooks shifted uncomfortably. Let's all remain calm. I leaned forward. You vouched for him, Brooks? Backed every deal? I believed in him, Brooks muttered. I didn't know he'd sink the ship. You were the captain, Marcus said. You looked the other way. Brooks sighed. I'll resign. Effective immediately. Coward Logan spat. No, I said. Just smart enough to jump before it burns. Logan stood. You think this ends me? No, I said. You ended yourself. He turned to the others. You all really believe this? We've seen the reports, one board member said. It's over, Logan. Logan looked around, eyes wild. Emily told. You all this, didn't she? I shook my head. She's not even here. She gave you everything, he growled. Thing ran when it fell apart. She left because she saw the truth too late. He slammed the table. I made this company. And you destroyed it, I said calmly. Silence. Heavy final, Marcus. Stood. This board hereby removes Logan Hayes as CEO. Effective now, the chairman added. Security's waiting. Logan's jaw clenched. You'll regret this. No, I said. I'll sleep just fine. Security entered. Logan didn't fight, just glared at me like I stole his legacy. As the door shut behind him, Zara exhaled. That was intense. Marcus clapped me on the back. Nice work, partner. I nodded. Thanks for backing me. Truth wins eventually, he said. It just needs a mic. Later that night, I scrolled through the headlines. Logan Hayes ousted in corporate shakeup. Brooks resigns after fraud exposure. New tech giant rises. As old one falls. Emily's socials were blank. No photos, no posts. Disappeared, Zara said, reading over my shoulder. She always ran when it got hard. I replied. She has nothing now. Neither did I said. Once. Zara studied me. Do you feel anything? No, I said. It's strange. I thought I'd celebrate. You did win. I looked out the window, without even swinging. Zara smiled. Karma fought for you. Feels cleaner than revenge. She bumped my shoulder. That's because it is. I kept waiting for a final moment, I admitted. Like a big speech. You didn't need one. She thought I'd come back, I said. So did he. But you moved forward. Zara said, and left them behind. I turned off the screen. Let's build something better. She raised her coffee mug to better. I tapped mine against hers, to starting over without looking back. You really bought it? Claire's mouth hung open as she stepped into the foyer. Yeah, I said, tossing her the keys. It's ours. Ethan? It's got a spiral staircase. A spiral one, I noticed. And a fireplace. Ah! I saw that too. She laughed. Spinning around, I'm decorating everything. Don't even argue. I wouldn't dare. James walked in behind her, suitcase in hand. It smells expensive in here, it is, I said. You like it? He shrugged. Where's my room, top floor, corner, best view? He nodded. MIT accepted me. I blinked. Wait. What? I got in, he said, grinning. Full ride. Claire screamed, hugging him so hard he dropped his bag. Proud of you, man, I said, pulling him in. You earned it. Not crying, Claire said, wiping her face. It's allergies. I smiled. Sure. Later, Zara walked into the kitchen with a bag of groceries. You stocked nothing. I was excited. Excited people still need cereal, noted. She placed the bags down. Nice place, feels.com. I needed calm. Do you like it? She asked. I do. She opened the fridge, empty. Let me guess my fault? Obviously, I handed her a spoon. Help me unpack. She eyed me. You okay? I nodded. Yeah. Like really okay? I hesitated. Sometimes I think about her. Emily. Not with anger, I said. Just ... reflection. Zara stayed quiet, waiting. She taught me something about who not to become. That's still a lesson, she said. I don't hate her. I don't even want revenge. Good. Hate ages you. Then I should look 20 again. You kinda do, liar, she smiled. Maybe. We sat on the back porch later, coffee in hand. You ever think about it? I asked. How far we came? Every day, she said. We built something. From nothing, I used to want payback. Now, ... I want peace. She glanced at me. Peace looks good on you. You think so? It suits you more than bitterness ever did. I looked in the mirror this morning, I said. For the first time in a long time, I respected the person staring back. That's all that matters. We're not rushing anything, I said. No, she agreed. We don't have to. I looked at her. But I like where we are. Same, she said. We've earned slow. James burst out the door. Claire's arguing with the delivery guys about rug placement. Zara snorted. Told you she'd go full HGTV. She's a menace. She's your menace. I stood. Let's go rescue the poor delivery men. Or film it, Zara said, grabbing her phone. Definitely film it. As we walked back in, I caught my reflection in the glass door, and I smiled. I'd been broken, humiliated, and discarded. I'd been poor, betrayed, and alone. But I rose. Not for revenge. Not for validation. I rose because I finally believed I could, and now I was home. You ready? The stage manager asked, adjusting my mic. As I'll ever be, I said. You've got 15 minutes, thanks. I stood behind the curtain, palms sweating. The same hallway, the same carpet, the same smell of burnt coffee. But everything had changed. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speaker, Ethan Cole. Applause. I stepped out under the lights. My heart thumped, but I smiled. Good morning, I said, gripping the podium. This building holds memories for me. Some sharp, some strange, all of them ... necessary. A few heads turned, familiar faces, older now, cautious. I was let go from this company exactly 1 year and 3 days ago. Silence. I walked out that door thinking my life was over. Someone shifted in their seat. I wasn't seen as valuable. It's not worth investing in. And maybe they were right. At the time, it's murmurs. But pain, I said slowly, is often just the start of transformation. A soft clap began. Then more, I could have chosen bitterness or blame. But I chose to build. People leaned in. I built with the people who saw me when I had nothing. I built with purpose, not pride. The room quieted again. And now, I stand here.
Act.
To prove them wrong. But to thank them. Gasps. Because failure taught me more than success ever could. I let the silence sit. A face caught my eye. In the back, Emily. She looked thinner, smaller. She didn't look up. I kept going. You don't rise by stepping on people, I said. You rise when you finally stop doubting your worth. Applause again. Louder, I don't have all the answers. I just know pain isn't the end. Sometimes it's the doorway. I stepped back from the mic, thank you. As they clapped, Emily turned and walked out. She didn't make a scene. She didn't look back, and I didn't stop her. Marcus met me off stage. You crushed it, did I? He clapped my shoulder, like a TED Talk, but with fangs. I laughed. That wasn't the goal. It was the truth, he said. People felt it. I meant it. He nodded. You good? I'm good. Later, as I walked out the lobby doors, Zara called. Well, I did it. Did you look powerful? Maybe a little. Why is that hot? I chuckled. You free? For the guy who turned his pain into poetry? Always. I hung up and looked at the building one last time. A year ago. I was broken in that lobby. Today I walked out whole, and I didn't feel pride. I felt peace.